My name is RighteousNicky, and welcome to the forgotten game of my childhood, Warlords Battle Cry 3. I'm going to be showing you a skirmish game for you to understand the overall gameplay of this game. There's tons of options and tons of races in this game. I'm gonna play versus a third difficulty of AI, which is not that hard, and as you can see you have a lot more options here. You can remove stuff, control stuff. Game speed is going to be the fastest game speed because I wanted to go a bit faster, and despite this being on the fastest speed, it took me like 30 minutes to win versus this AI. Though I did want to show the end unit, but I'm gonna go through that later on. So I'm gonna do a bit more explanation about the game during the wait times, during the productions, but as for now you need to know that you start with a hero and you start converting some mines, and you do that by using the flag ability, and that is going to make your hero into a cast mode, and you have a radius of conversion. So those mines are currently neutral and you need to convert them to actually get the value, so you can start productioning resources. You can see on the top right your production resources, and as well as your hero is going to be your main building unit. Here you build other building units. You're going to build your town hall, which you can later upgrade up to 5 levels, and it's very important for you to actually get your resources early on so you can start producing it on an early level. It's a very important thing to do. Now I'm gonna produce my first building unit structure, which is generally, I think you have like 2 or 3 building unit structures here, which is made very simple, very nicely. And I apologize if the game is looking a bit laggy, but it's an old game, so it's very hard for me to actually record it. I couldn't capture it the normal type, so as we can see it's a bit lagging, but you're going to have to go through it a bit. I hope it's smooth announced after the rendering. So the first building unit for this race, we are playing the Swarm, is going to be the ants. So you can put ant units into any of the mines up to like a cap, like 5 or 8, depending on how big is your town hall, to increase your mining production from those mines. So you can get more resources and expand your you know, empire or stuff. So I'm gonna send another ant to build another production unit, because you actually need a lot of ants to get the full mine resource management, and it's good to do a second building for you to start pumping up some army units. Now in the meantime, I'm gonna send my hero to explore a bit of the map, see if I can find another mines that I can convert to my resource management. And this is actually a pretty small map that we started on. There are a lot more larger maps with more mines and stuff, so there's not going to be that many resources. There's some quest shrines that you can do. This quest shrine, for instance, allows me to get an elemental if I pay 600 diamonds. Now 600 is actually a pretty good cost, a pretty solid cost, but the elemental, as you can see, deals 3 times the damage of my hero, which is pretty strong, and it's just going to be a very nice unit to have around me. So I cannot explain you all the stats in the game. That's up to you to figure out. This what I did there was upgrade the unit strength of this building to level 2, so I can finally start building damaging units. The enemy hero is actually going to attack me here with 4 mini units that I actually haven't produced anything yet. I'm going to bring my hero back with my water elemental to try to stop them. The enemy hero went back and he just left his small minions here to defend, and I'm going to be able to push him away. So this is AI on the 3rd difficulty out of 6 difficulty, I think. So as someone that hasn't played the game from a long time, I actually don't remember almost anything besides the last units in this game. I really needed to spend some time to learn the game, maybe like 1 or 2 games, and this is me after some knowledge of what I'm doing. So this is going to be our first building unit structure, the basic one, with which you can produce skeletons. I don't know why skeletons are part of the swarm, but they're your basic cheapest attack unit that actually cannot sustain much 1v1, but it's good to have them for some basic defense. As well, your townhouse has a special ability that I think steals units, steals mine production from the enemy mines, but I'm not sure how exactly it works now at the moment, because I really haven't seen it in action. I'm going to kill actually the enemy hero here. I'm going to get some of his wood. In this game you have also hero and woods, but this is not my main focus in the game when I play the game. I try to play the game more around my army, but what you need to know is that if your hero dies in this game, you cannot revive it. So now that we killed the enemy hero, he cannot reproduce it, so he's gonna lose not only a strong unit, but also with your hero you actually can buff your surrounding army to do a bit more damage and to be and to boost their morale. I don't know how the morale works in this game, but there is a morale stat as well to the damage that helps your army in some way. Now, what I did there, the big globe building is a upgrade building, and the upgrades for the swarm increase my production speed of any units, and I can upgrade this to like 10 times to reduce my production speed to up to 50%. So I'm going to be able to produce units more faster. And as you can see, the beetles is going to be your second unit. They're a bit more of a splash damage oriented unit that allow you to deal a bit more like not only splash but a bit of a range damage. So they're a bit better than the skeletons, and they're going to provide me with some very nice, you know, firepower. In the meantime, I realized I didn't convert this top mine because I was too busy building buildings and stuff. And in the meantime, the enemy AI is just raking me non-stop with non-stop attacks, sending single units and stuff, and I'm trying to defend my base with my obviously bigger army, which isn't going to be a problem. And as well as that, your base starts with a couple of towers, which is pretty cool. But those towers don't really have that big of a range, so they're not going to be as helpful as you might think. Though you can put extra units in the tower for more power and range if that is needed. So I'm going. What you saw there was upgraded my main unit production to level 3 now. So I'm, as you can see, it already upgraded. So I'm going to be able to produce my third level of units, which I'm going to show in just a moment. I also upgrade my production speed on the upgrade unit, and I'm going to start building. I'm going to build like a different tower here that has more range on my outer edges of the kingdom, and I'm going to go. This is the air unit building. Now air units, if the enemy team builds air units, you can't really attack them with your normal ground units, so you actually want to produce some air forces to be able to counter the air forces of the enemy team. Now with my hero I'm going to explore a bit more of the map, and I'm going to see a long gold mine here, which I'm going to start converting and put pressure on the enemy AI to defend it. In the meantime, he's just sending his units towards my main base, which constantly put me into pressure. Those towers also have some upgrades to increase their range, and as you can see, the enemy hero is sending now air units like those fireflies. My beetles, thankfully, can actually attack air, so that's pretty cool. I'm going to make some fireflies of my own. I'm going to keep exploring the map, and in the meantime, I started producing my third unit, which are the scorpions. Now the scorpions, not only that, are a much better melee unit than those skeletons or those zombies. Actually, I think zombies is, well, yeah, I think they're some kind of a plant zombies than skeletons, to be honest. Now the scorpions, not only that have more damage and more HP, but they also have poison, so they can poison someone. And from what I figured in this game, poison persists till you die or something. I'm not sure, because as you're going to see a bit later in this game, my hero is going to get poisoned from the enemy race, from some of their units, which I don't know. I only played this race because it was my favorite when I was little. And my hero dies from poisoning, despite my hero having actually HP regen. So I'm really not sure how exactly each stat works in this game, but There's definitely a lot of things to learn for this game compared to other RTSs. Despite the fact that you don't actually have that many units to consider countering stuff, but when it comes to stats, this game has a lot of stats. You have the combat stack, you have the attack damage, morale, and you know, dexterity, attack speed and stuff. I'm going to upgrade my main unit production now to level 4, and I'm going to keep upgrading my speed production as well. Going to increase the range of the towers, and if you notice here, when you produce from some building, you can put the continuous production option, which means that you're going to continuously produce this unit until your resources deplete. So you can just continually build a big army. Now the problem with this is, there are two problems with this. One of them is your army capacity on the top left is pretty low compared to other games. I think the maximum I saw in this game was like 65 or something, and we are currently at around 50. As well as that, if you don't keep track of your resources, you might get a big army and just waste a lot of your resources, and you might forget to control your army as well, which is bad. You want to send your army as fast as possible so you can be efficient on resources and stuff. Now, I forgot to mention the enemy team. I put him as the dragon race. They have a lot of dragons, triceratopses, T-rexes and stuff, so that's pretty cool. In the meantime, I'm going to be producing my fourth type of units, which is the Scorpion Man. They also have the poison and stuff. They're a lot better than the normal scorpions when it comes to HP and damage. And as well, they cost a lot more resources, as you might have figured out. Now, all buildings have up to level 5 upgrades, so we're going to be able to upgrade one more time. In the meantime, I've just been keeping producing those zombie units to have some kind of low level protection in my kingdom. And I've been producing some air units because I've noticed the enemy hero has been doing a lot of those fireflies and stuff. Now, if you noticed, it said that my units got upgraded, leveled up. I don't think that deals anything. It's like in StarCraft, it tracks your kill count or something. And one thing I wanted for you to see here now that I'm attacking the enemy base is you can see those green skulls on some of my units and my hero. That is the poison effect. They keep depleting my HP. As you can see, on my main hero's portrait, my hero just keep dying from poisoning. And I have no idea how you can remove this effect, because as you can see, till the end of the game, I think my hero dies from it, or either gets extremely low and dies after from some small damage, which is very frustrating to have. And I don't think there's any healing units here, or I have no idea how to heal, so that really sucks. As well, the maximum army you can cap in one place, I think, is like a lot more than 12 than the normal games. It's probably a big number like in the StarCraft games, but I cannot tell you the exact number. Probably around 20 or 30, which is pretty nice into a controlled army pickup. Now, one thing that this game doesn't have is the shift add to the control. So if you want to control a group of units, you need to pick them up at once with control, and cannot later add additional units with shift to the main group. So this is a bit of a backdraw when it comes to the keybinds, but I haven't really checked all the keybinds. Maybe there is some kind of an option for that. I just haven't explored the full potential of the game. So I have a pretty big army now. I'm planning to attack this is the a Naga? I'm pretty sure we killed the enemy hero, but this is probably some kind of a unit that can convert buildings. I actually haven't seen any other unit than your hero that can convert buildings, so that's pretty strange. Probably your main worker units can do that. Anyway, in the meantime, I'm going to start destroying the main buildings of the enemy team. The enemy. He's going to send a lot of flying units, by the way, in my direction. They actually don't have good anti-air units, so my army is actually going to take a pretty big hit there. In the meantime, I'm doing some upgrades in my base too. Both armies are randomly fighting over each other. Going to start the level 5 unit upgrade. Speed production up to level 7 now. And this is another upgrade shrine. This is the caster upgrade shrine. Because your 5th unit is actually a caster unit, so you can upgrade his mana regeneration from this little shrine, and as well as morale to the entire army. As I said, I'm not sure what the morale does exactly, but we're gonna figure it out. You're gonna figure it out if you play the game. Now, this is the last 2 buildings that we're going to be building. One of them is the Queen building. The Queen allows you to produce your Scorpion cast units, which have the mana. And the last building allows you to build your ultimate unit, which I think the game classifies as a Titan. Basically, when you produce this unit, you can pretty much destroy the enemy beasts with this unit alone. But as I saw, the unit actually doesn't have as much HP as you might think, but its damage is pretty substantial. If you send a decent army with this ultimate Titan unit, you can pretty much easily win the game. Now I'm gonna start building some of those caster scorpions. I'm going to improve all of my upgrades. My keep is on level 4, and I'm just gonna get some exploration on the map because my army is pretty well. My hero is on 40 HP. Staying in this base at the moment so he doesn't die. But as you can see, the poisonous effect is still up. My HP hasn't moved though, so I really don't know about this poisonous effect, how it works exactly. I see on the minimap that my mine is being under attack, again converted. In the meantime, my bottom building is dying. I'm going to have to repair it. This game actually has 2 types of repairs. You don't need to send a worker to repair. You can repair the building from inside. But you can choose to either repair it slowly for less resources, or to repair it fast with the double of the resources. Most of the time the resources isn't that big of a problem, so it's better to go just for the fast repair. Now, one thing about this game that is a bit frustrating is that every single unit building needs to be upgraded to level 5 if you want to produce from this building your best unit. So if you have one building at max level, the second building that is level 1 can produce only your zombie minions, so you need to upgrade it to level 5 to be able to produce the best units. As you can see, the purple scorpions, those are the caster scorpions. They have 2 abilities. One of them is summon an elemental, the other one is an AoE fire around them. I'm not going to be able to show them to you just now because I'm doing some production stuff. Doing some upgrades. I'm gonna get the last speed production upgrade of my army, which is going to be 50%. And oh boy. Now, another thing I wanted to mention that I already mentioned, this is the fastest game speed you can do on this game. And this is speed 5. You can play the game a lot slower than this. You have that option. You can play like 5 times slower. And when I started learning this game, I played it on speed 3, which it was good to learn, but when it came to productions and upgrades, it took way too much time. Way too much time. That's why I went to the fastest one for the video's sake. Now the air unit building can now produce dragons. There's very strong air units. I haven't actually built one. Because not only that they produce very slowly, but I don't really need them for air units at the moment. But you should know that you can produce a strong air unit as well, which is the dragon. Now I have a lot of a pretty big army here that I'm probably going to plan to send pretty soon. I'm a player that really likes to play safe, play a bit more defensive in the start, build up a big army and then go offensive. I don't really like to do early skirmishes and stuff. I just like to build a bit army, and when I feel I'm confident, just to send it. In the meantime, the enemy team managed to reclaim this mine, put up some towers there to defend it. Very annoying, as well as the bottom mine as well. I'm going to have to go there and reclaim it. Because I was playing very defensive in the meantime. And as well, for you to retake the mine, you need to convert it with your hero, staying on one spot. Somehow I finally removed the poison effect from my hero, so he can finally regenerate, which is pretty cool. As well as your hero, just in like Warcraft 3, when he levels up, you can invest stats in him. Now, one interesting thing compared to Warcraft 3 is that your hero level doesn't reset when you start a new game. So I played a couple of training games with this hero, like he was level 1. I played another game, he was level 3, and now that I'm playing this game, he is going around level 5, and I can use him as level 5 for the next game with the stats that I invested in him, which is a very interesting mechanic, though this is probably a single player mechanic, so if you're playing multiplayer, I don't know if that is going to be possible. There is a multiplayer option as well. There's also a campaign option with missions. This game is also, as I said, Battlecry 3, so there are actually 2 more games before that. Of course, with worse graphics. I'm not going to be going through them. I just remember playing this one when I was little on skirmishes, just like I'm showing you at the moment. And the enemy team is going to send his T-Rexes against me. I'm just going to send my Beetles and going to return my main army to take care of them. Yeah, I'm going to be able to just overrun them pretty easily. And I'm just going to keep pressure on the mines for now, because my main goal for this game is to show you the Titan unit. And in the meantime, while I'm trying to produce the Titan unit, I'm just going to need to defend and not annihilate the enemy base. I have enough army to remove him, but I just wanted to show the Titan unit. Now the Titan unit, for each race is different. For this race is a very big cockroach. And you can produce it from your keep. There it is. I'm actually going to start producing it. He's called Ward Melkor, and it's going to take a lot of time, even on the very fast speed, to produce it. Here is some of the stats of the hero. You have like Constitution, more Ferocity, Regeneration, Morale. Like there's a lot of stats, a lot of min-maxing in this game that I really don't know about. So it's up to you to explore every single potential of every single unit and hero in this game. I'm going to get some more morale upgrades now. I've actually been producing a lot of ants, which I actually don't really need. I was planning to send the ants in the mines and to build some towers around the mines, but to be honest, I don't think I think I outproduced a bit of the ants. So you can't really. I don't think you can use the ants for fighting. I'm not really sure, but this mine is full, so. You can actually use the ants for fighting, but they're a pretty weak unit, pretty weak HP and damage. But if you're struggling and you don't have a lot of resources, then maybe you can do like an ant rush, like a Zerg rush or something. Now, this game was made after StarCraft and Warcraft, and despite that, I actually think, because this game came out in 2004, and I think Warcraft 3 came in 2002. I'm not 100% sure, but when it comes to graphics, Warcraft, this game is really a bit outdated compared to the graphics in the time it was played. But just the complexity of this game compared to Warcraft is pretty big when it comes to stats and races and countering and stuff. So when it comes to like a bit more complex RTS with a lot of options, I can see why a lot of people played this game back in the day. Because I think you have like 12 races here or something. So I'm just gonna dominate a lot of the surrounding areas of the map till I complete my Titan unit. The cockroach guy. Oh, there is actually another quest shrine here. Convert 3 enemy buildings, and a goblin is gonna join you. That's what I read. Completes usually autocomplete once you do the objective. So, but you need to talk to the quest shrine to actually get a quest. In the meantime, I'm just gonna stop some of the enemy pressure by destroying some of his buildings. He has a lot of strong air units here, the pterodactyls, and I don't have good anti-air. A lot of my army is ground-based, so I'm gonna take some hits there. Yeah, I do have some. Do you see those fire elementals? Those are the elementals I summoned from my purple scorpion man. In the meantime, I'm gonna build some towers as well around him so I can stop his outburst into my region. And I did lose a lot of units, but I pretty much have won the game up till now. I'm just waiting for my Titan unit to build up so I can show it to you. Now my hero is again poisoned here, so I cannot regenerate any HP, which really suck, man. Now this upgrade costed 1k gold. 1k gold on the tower. It says that it allows me to review the entire map and not have fog of war. Which I actually already reviewed the map. I think I already have this upgrade, or maybe there's some kind of option to have vision on the map when you reveal it. Because when I trained into this game, you would get vision in like in Warcraft, only where your units are. So there are different options when it comes to the map as well. I'm gonna start producing this dragon as well, but we won't be able to see him because I ended the game before that. You're going to be able to just see the Titan unit, which is still in production. Even on the very fast speed, you can see that it takes a lot of time to produce the Titan unit. I'm gonna build some catapults as well there. And yeah, dragon is building up as well. My hero, my Beetle gained level 3. It's not really wise to put my hero that close, but I'm converting some of his mines to my resources. And when it comes to resources, I forgot to mention we have 4 resources. Oh, my World Milker is on 99%. He popped up. Here he is. Isn't he beautiful? He has the combat stat, which is 36, which I have no idea what it does, but the damage 140, like, is insane. In HP 900. You're gonna now see World Milker the Titan in action. And I remember this unit. By the way, from this unit I managed to explain to the guy that found me the game, because I didn't know how the game was called. I remember only images of the game. When I searched for the game, I searched it in Reddit. In a Reddit subreddit. Oh, my hero died. I lost all the wood. And I can reclaim the wood if I have a hero, but I don't have. I cannot revive my hero as far as I know in this game. I didn't find a building that can do that. So I found this game through Reddit. There is a subreddit called The Tip of My Tongue, and you can search there for anything you have forgotten. You just need to explain it, and some random people that might know can give you the answer to that. So I made a post. I asked about a fantasy RTS game that I played around the 2005 period, and the game had a lot of races. I explained in the post the 3 races, which was, one of them was the bug race, this bug race with an end unit, a big cockroach. Second race, skeleton race with an end unit, a skeleton king riding 2 horses. And the third race, the dragon race. I explained the dragon race as well. And someone did figure it out, gave me the name, and that is it. I managed to find it. Though it's very hard to record this game. But if you wanna play it, it's definitely a good thing. Good thing to try out if you've been looking for an RTS game and you haven't really been impressed by anything recently. Though we still have like Warcraft 3 and Starcraft, which are very big dominators. But if you wanna try something more old school, I definitely suggest you this game because it has a lot of potential, a lot of races, and just a lot of stuff to explore. At the end of the game, you can get some like bonus units for the next game as well. I don't know how this exactly works. But yeah, guys, there's tons of stuff. My hero is now level 6. I can use him for the next mission. Like there's skill stats, a lot of stuff to explore. So that is basically going to be it from me from this game. I'm probably not going to show you anything else from it. I just wanted to show you like overall what the game was about. And yeah, guys, that's going to be everything from me from today. So thanks for watching, and until next time, stay righteous.